So with the Philadelphia Union season finally over, the Philadelphia Union have released the players who are in contract, out of contract, and are up for options. And today on DOOP by the River, guys, we are going to discuss this list and tell you what I think will happen. But stay right there, guys, because we're going to discuss that all coming up next. Die! That is right. Welcome everyone to DOOP by the River, this show where we follow everything Philadelphia Union with me and Parceo Philly. And if this is the first time you're tuning in or if you're returning back, I just want to say thank you. But we are trying to do the impossible by reaching 200 subscribers for the start of the 2020 year. And I need your guys' help to reach that goal. Help me out by liking this video, subscribing to this channel, hitting the bell button for notifications, and sharing this video as well as this channel. But guys, that is right, the Philadelphia season is over. The Union's Jim Kirchin and Ernst Tanner did their exiting press conference, and the Union have released a list of the guys who are out of contract, are up for their option, and will be back here for next year. And what though? Let's discuss this, guys, because seeing on Twitter, there's a lot of people with opinions, and obviously people want to know what's going to happen with the roster going into next year after an historical year that we just had. Let's talk about it, guys. And the list that we're going through is brought to you by my good friends at Brotherly Game. If you guys want to stay up to date with all news Philadelphia Union, I just give you my reactions, but if you want to stay up to date with everything Philadelphia Union, check out Brotherly Game at brotherlygame.com. I will leave a little link down in the descriptions below. But let's get to this, guys. So far for next year, we have 12 players who are guaranteed to be back. In the blue and gold next year, look for Brandon Aronson, obviously the runner-up Rookie of the Year, our captain, Alejandro Bedoya, our goalie, Andre Blake, Jake DeVries, who is a homegrown who we just signed this year. Really didn't get any minutes at all, so we will see what Jake can do this training camp. Jack Elliott, obviously he signed his contract extension in the middle of the year, so he will be back. Another homegrown product, Matt Freese, our backup goalie going to next year. Ray Gaddis, hopefully next year he finally gets his goal, but Ray will be back at that right full back. Kasper Shabilko obviously will be back as well. Sergio Santos Gomes, Cole Turner, another homegrown player who we signed this year. And to round it out, the two Germans, Kai Wagner and Andrew Wooten. Alright, no surprises there who's coming back. Now let's look at the guys who are out of a contract right now. And that list is only 5 players, but we have Aurélien Collin, Elsinho, Harris Medunjanin, Fafa Picault, and Jamiro Montiero. Now this is a tough decision, guys. First up with Aurélien Collin, I think he won't be back. If they want to bring back his veteran leadership, that is fine. But if I had to guess, I don't think he will be back. Now, Elsinho and Harris Medunjanin, both are kind of in the same boat. They're both talented and both helped us out last year, but are getting up there in age. If you have to make a critical decision whether they want to bring both of them back, considering their age. But obviously, we know Jim Kirchin loves both these players. Elsinho obviously adds that spark from the bench. His 1v1 skill is A1 in this league. And Harris Medunjanin obviously brings leadership, brings his intelligence. He's been playing this game for a very long time. He sees the field differently than other players, and his long ball has definitely been crucial this year. Obviously, can be a defensive liability, but my guess is that I think if we had to bet on who stays, who goes, I think Harris will probably be back next year, and Elsinho probably won't. And we have Fafa Picault and Jamiro Montiero, 2 players I've talked about extensively in my season review that we just had this week. But I'll say it again, Fafa Picault, I want him to be back. It's all up to what other options are out there, who's willing to throw more money in a better situation. I've heard Inter Miami been thrown out there. I don't think David Beckham is looking for a player like Fafa Picault, to be quite honest with you. I could be wrong about that, but I know Fafa's ties with Florida and Southern Florida as well. But I don't know if, David Beckham is trying to make a splash. He's still trying to get a couple European stars, but I think he's more so looking down in South America. I mean, he's definitely going to pick up a couple MLS players. I just don't know if Fafa is one of those guys. And Jamiro Montiero, in the end, I just don't think that the Union can come to an agreement with Jamiro's guys at a price to keep him here. I really want to bring him back, but at the end of the day, I think it's just going to come down to money as well. I don't see him staying here. We have 12 options. We have the option to pick up for next season. So we got RJ Allen, Fabinho, Joe Bendik, Corey Burke, Warren Creavalle, Marco Fabian, Anthony Fontana, Olivier Bazio, Mark McKenzie, Miche Ingalina, Matt Rial, and Austin Trusty. Now, all right, let's start off with the fullbacks. We got RJ Allen, Olivier Bazio on the right. On the left, we have Matt Rial and Fabinho all have options. I think the Union don't pick up RJ Allen's option and they keep Olivier Bazio here. I definitely think that the future of the right back position is not on this roster right now. I do expect the Union to look outside of this team to try to look for a future replacement because Ray Gaddis is not going to be the option there forever. Olivier Bazio next year, he's going to have another opportunity to show what he has. This is my only concern. Olivier did suffer an injury in the summertime, but he did have plenty of time to prove himself to get some minutes on the field. Now, he played in the Vancouver game, and I believe it was one of those Cascadia teams that we had here in the summer. He showed Nice a little something, but I don't think that in training, he really didn't show Jim Kirchin and the staff enough to give him some more minutes out there behind Ray Gaddis. I think he will be back, but he definitely has to prove himself next year. Now, with Fabinho, Matt Rial, I think we keep Matt Rial. It's a no-brainer. He is improving a little bit, but not enough. Unfortunately, last year, the emergence of Kai Wagner kind of put him on the back burner. I did see an improvement from Matt Rial. Did see a little more confidence from Matt Rial. Fabinho, I think that he will actually retire. He's been working very closely with Bethlehem Steel the past 2 seasons. I think this is his time. I think he's ready to hang it up, and I think he will head over with Bethlehem. All right, Joe Bendik is up. I mean, I would keep him. I don't see why you wouldn't. You're going to need a third option. Andre Blake has international duties, and Matt Freese has proven he is not the most durable right now. He's still very young, but missed quite significant amount of time in the beginning and the end of the season when he's not even the everyday starter. Corey Burke is another interesting situation for the Philadelphia Union because as we all know, he is dealing with trying to get proper paperwork to come back to play in America. Right now, he's in Portmore United. I would pick up the option. Here's the thing. It all depends on whether or not he can come back next year. If he is able to come back next year, I would pick up the option. If not, I really don't want to put him in that situation because the guy has worked his ass off with us. But if they really think that Corey Burke is in their future plans, then give him the option. But you first got to look into what's going on with trying to get him back into America. Warren Creavalle is up for the option as well. I would bring him back, man. He is a clog in that midfield. You're going to need him for when you got to close out games at the end and you just need some defense in that midfield. I love his mentality. He's a positive guy and he's a workhorse. That is contagious in a dressing room. Bring Warren back. Marco Fabian is the fun one here, guys. As we've discussed this plenty, guys. I don't think he's coming back, guys. There's nothing that justifies his play this season for close to $3 million. That would be the most expensive player on the Union. I just don't see him coming back. I mean, he might stay in the MLS. I think more so Marco has his eyes back home in Mexico. He had his fun here in Philly for a year, and I just don't see how we bring him back next year. It's just too much money. Fontana, like I mentioned before, I want him back. I think he will be back as well. It's a cheap option. Just bring his ass back. Mark McKenzie and Miche Ingalina, I think they will both be back as well, especially Mark McKenzie. After the way he ended last year, his ass is definitely coming back. The last one is interesting. We got Austin Trusty here. Austin, as we know, took a dip in the second half of his performance and definitely seemed like he lost a little bit of confidence. But I think you need to bring him back, especially if you don't bring a really Colin back. You need some depth. Austin is a quality backup. But he needs to get back to that Austin Trusty that we know. Trusty the process. Alright guys, those are my thoughts. This was a quick video. I just wanted to discuss and touch upon Union putting out this list of players who are up for contract. It's definitely interesting. It's definitely, obviously, all our eyes are on the moves that Union make because this is the most crucial Union offseason we have had in our history because of the year that we just had. We have to build upon this. We cannot take a step back. I want our asses in MLS Cup. Toronto should not be here. It should be us, guys. But those are my thoughts. In the comments below, I want to hear from you guys. What do you think is going to happen next year? Who's staying? Who's going? Let me know below. And of course, guys, if you like what you see and you want to see more of this, help me out here. We're trying to do the impossible by hitting 200 subscribers for the start of 2020 year, and I need your guys' help to continue this growth. Help me by liking this video, subscribing to this channel, hitting the bell button for notifications, and sharing this video as well as this channel. And until next time, my Dooperos.